Hello guys. So we'll move to the next question. So the next question is like this. There is a cliff and the height of this cliff is 100 meter, and from the top, okay, you throw a ball upward with 10 meter per second. So if you throw a ball, so this is our trajectory of the ball, okay, so it goes up and this point it reaches its minimum speed. Here it would be 0 and again start to accelerate and reaches the ground, okay. So the first part of the problem is like this. When does it reach the bottom of the cliff? Bottom of the cliff. Meaning what? How do you find the time taken for this ball to go up to reach this point, okay? So it has to go up and its speed should become 0. After that it should start to accelerate and reach the bottom, okay? The first part of the problem is what? How do you find the total time taken for the ball to reach the ground? How do you do this? Well, what I'm going to do is you are actually throwing the ball with 10 meter per second upward, but for simplicity I will assume you are throwing the ball with minus 10 meter per second downward, okay. If I say minus 10 meter per second, mean actually you are throwing, I can say, okay, if I say, because velocity is a vector quantity, so if you say 10 meter per second upward, I can say minus 10 meter per second downward. Both are equivalent, okay. And S is now, because I'm going to use my equation downward, okay. So the S is 100 meter, and what is gravity? G is 10, that is also downward, ms minus 2, right? So we have all these quantities. Do you understand what I'm saying? So actually the ball is thrown upward, but I can assume in the opposite direction, so I have to put a minus 10, okay. So you are throwing the ball with minus 10 meter per second downward, and if you throw the ball with minus 10 meter per second downward, the ball is traveling 100 meter, right? So I put 100 meter here is equal to 100 meter, and the gravity is downward always, so which is 10 ms minus 2. So how do I find the time, the total time, okay, to reach the ground? I can use S equal to ut plus half g t square. Yeah, I'll use g, okay. This is because this is under gravity, so I used to write down g, okay, if the motion is under gravity. So S equal to 100. What about u? U is minus 10 t, okay, minus 10 t plus half g is 10 t squared. Okay, so now you can simplify. This is 5. Again you can divide the entire equation by 5, so this become 1, this become 2. Here you will get 5, right? So 20, right? So t squared become t squared, this minus 2t minus 20 equal to 0. So from here you can find t. How do you find the t? I'm going to use my calculator. Wait a second, okay. Calculator, yes. Equation, sorry. Okay, degree. Equation, degree 2. Okay, yeah, so because this is degree 2, okay, the degree is 2, so 1 minus 2 and minus 20. So okay, so this is the answer I'm getting. Okay, t equal to 5.58 seconds. Okay, this is one answer, and the second answer, O minus 3.58 seconds. Okay, so this is the time taken to reach the bottom. But you see, this is minus, right? Here this answer is minus. You can omit this answer because time cannot be negative, right? So the answer is t equal to 5.58 seconds to reach the bottom. Okay, so we'll move to the next part of this question. So I will mark it down here. Okay, t equal to 5.58 seconds. Okay, maybe we need this later. The second part of the problem is what is the total distance traveled by the ball. Okay, B part. Traveled by the ball. Okay, what is the total distance traveled by the ball? How do you find this? To find it, okay, this is, you see, from here to here it travels some distance. Okay, so if I find from here to here, I can multiply by 2 to find from this point to this point, and the rest is 100. Okay, this is how I'm going to find the total distance traveled by the ball, right? So from here to here, how do you find the distance? I can use v squared is equal to u squared plus 2gs. Okay, so this point the final velocity becomes 0. Okay, so 0 is equal to, what is u squared? U is initial speed, which is 10. So I'll get 10 squared is 100 minus 2 times g is 10 s. Okay, so s become 100 divided by what? 20. Therefore s equal to what? Yeah, 5 meter. The 5 meter is what actually to travel from this point to this. Okay, this is 5 meter, but it has to come down, right? So 5 plus 5 is 10, and this is 100. So the total distance would be what? 5 plus another 5 plus 100, which is equal to 110 meter. Okay, you got it? Okay. The third part of the problem is the speed the speed before hitting the ground. What is the speed before hitting the ground? So meaning what? If you throw the ball upward, it goes to this point and come back and it hits somewhere here. Okay, so when the ball reaches this point, what is the speed? What is the speed? How do you find it? I'm going to use v equal to u plus at. I need to find the final speed. What is the initial speed I said? I can put actually minus 10. Okay, if you are throwing the upward 10, it's similar to our previous argument. Okay, so I'll use the entire equation downward. So the initial speed is what? Minus 10 plus the acceleration is downward, so I can put plus 10. T is what? For the total time for the journey we said 5.58 seconds. Okay, so here we found that. So if you multiply minus 10, you'll get here 55.8, therefore 45.8 meter second minus 1. So this is the speed when the ball reaches the ground. Okay, so the next part of the problem is the speed of the ball at 2 seconds. What is the speed of the ball at 2 seconds? How do you find it? So again I can use v equal to u plus at, right? So this time I'm going to use the equation upward. Okay, so if I use the equation upward, I mean it doesn't matter, right? Even you can use it upward or downward. Okay, if you are confused, I'll use it downward. It doesn't matter, right? I'll get the answer. From the answer I can predict what is happening. The speed we said what? Minus 10, and the acceleration is downward. Plus 10, time we said 2 seconds, therefore this minus 10 plus 20, which is equal to what? 10 meter per second. So you see, at time is equal to 2 seconds when the speed of the ball at 2 seconds is simply what? 10 meter.